Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is me, just me, Tracy-Lee. Today I thought I would pop on and do a little mystery, beginner-friendly amigurumi project with you. So, I have my yarn bag here in front of us. Let's see what's we got going on. What do we need for this little project? Alright, right off the bat, I see we need a stitch marker. And we're going to need a little bit of fluff. This is, I don't know, it squishes down, so about a good handful of fluff. And our crochet hook that I am using is a G 4.5 millimeter. A little tad bit of black yarn or thread. I'm using just regular number 4 medium weight acrylic. That's all the yarn I'm using, just regular 100% acrylic, number 4 weight. This is an older Red Heart yarn. It is called Yellow Green. It's an older one. I picked up at Goodwill, I think, for $1. This here, I do not know what it is. I just know it's beautiful. And it'll go good with that green. Just the yarns you choose, just make sure, you use what you want. But I like to color coordinate. A pair of scissors. And my little handy dandy little llama notebook that I picked up for $1 at the Dollar Tree, just in case you're wondering. It is cute. All right, and I have my stuff in my little project bag. You can see through it. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby on their 75% clearance. I already have my yarn pulled through the eyelets. So this is kind of going to be this will be the first time me using it actually like this, but it'll be a good grab to go. That way, if I don't get this done in time, I can just pick it up and take it on out the door with me. All right, let's see what we're doing here. Our pattern. I do want to say that this is, if I have not already, this is, in my opinion, a good beginner-friendly pattern to play with. It is going to be really cute. I do believe you'll enjoy it. So grab you some supplies and come on back and work this little pattern up with me. I'm going to try my best to be thorough, but there's always that pause button, and you can rewind, and there you go. There you have it. Here's our part 1 of our pattern. My main color, I'm going to use the corrugated, the multicolor. So we need a magic circle with 6 single crochet. All right, let's go ahead and do that. And I have my stitch marker right here waiting for me. I'm going to try to stay in frame. I have to take my glasses off because I can't see with them. Isn't that silly? I'm going to try to do this as well as I can. Whoa. I'm only assuming that you know how to do your magic circle and all the basics, okay? There are other tutorials that will show you how to do a magic circle. Or if you don't want to work the magic circle, just do a chain 3 and then slip to the first chain made and form a ring or form a circle, and then work into that. Whenever I get my magic circle made, I do go ahead and place my stitch marker, and it said on the pattern, magic circle with 6 single crochet. All right, this does not count the first loop. That's just your working. That does not count. So we need 6 single crochet. It can be a little bit fiddly going around that stitch marker, but it'll be okay. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to turn my bag around a little bit. There we go. Oops. That was 4, 5, and 6. This is nice yarn. I'm not sure what it is. For some reason, the word impeccable is coming to mind, but I don't know why, because don't impeccable yarn, does that not come from like Joann's or Michael's or something? My other yarn is getting wound up around that. I have to get that out of the way. All right, bad idea on, that's no fault of the bag. That was just me. All right, so we have our, anyway, I don't have a Michael's or Joann's. I have Walmart and Hobby Lobby. That's it. But for some reason, impeccable popped in mind. Maybe this was another Goodwill find. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, on my amigurumi, I work in the continuous round. I guess that's what amigurumi actually is. It is a form of continuous crochet, which the single crochets. So round 2, it calls for an increase around. So that will be 1 increase in each stitch around. You'll end up with 12 stitches at the end. I already replaced my stitch marker. So working in the very first stitch, work 2 single crochet. There's 1. It's hard for me to do. I'm so used to using my Susan Bates, but yeah, this hook was just handy. There's 2. That's your increase. You want to increase in each stitch around. You'll end up with 12 stitches. All right, I am going to pause here and I will meet you back here. All right, I got my 12 stitches around. Remove my stitch marker. Move it over and over onto my hook. Now we're on row 3. Oops, sorry. 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. It's in parentheses, so we repeat this 6 times. At the end of the round, we should have 18 stitches. 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. One single crochet and 1 increase. I may have to go get me a Susan Bates hook. 1 and 2, or increase. Repeat that. 1 single crochet and 1 increase. One more time. One single crochet, one increase. All right, continue that around and I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. Alrighty, made it back. Finished up one single crochet and one increase all the way around. Move my stitch marker back over here onto my hook and go on to the next row, which is round number 4. This time we're going to work 2 single crochets and then an increase around for 6 times. 2 single crochet and then 1 increase. 24 stitches at the end. Okay. 2 single crochets. There's 1. And 2. And then an increase. One, 2, increase. One more time. 1, 2, and then an increase. Go ahead and continue, and I'll meet you back up at when I get to the stitch marker. Alright guys, I made it to the end of round 4. Now on to round 5. We're going to work 3 single crochets and an increase 6 times. Total of 30 stitches at the end of round 5. 3 single crochet and 1 increase. I have to move my stitch marker. Alright, here we go. There's 1 single crochet. There we go. 1, 2, 3, an increase, 1, 2, 3, increase. Whoa, getting blurry. One more time. 1, 2, 3, increase. The end of this row, should have 30 stitches. I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. Alright guys, moving right along. Got back to my stitch marker. We just got done working round 5. Now on to round 6. 4 single crochet and the increase. 6 times, total of 36 stitches, 4 and then an increase. Move my stitch marker. Whoops. Oh, get back where you belong. 4 and then increase. There's 1. Yarn split. Easy fix. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, 1. Let's try to flip it back just a little bit. There was 1. There's 2, 3, 4, increase, 1 more time, okay? 1 single crochet in 4. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, and increase, 'kay, pause right there, and I will meet you at the stitch marker. 4 single crochets and increase. Just repeat that around. Alright guys, I made it to the end of my round 6. 4 single crochet and an increase. Made it on around. So our next is round 7, and it is 1 single crochet around, a total of 36 stitches. Easy peasy. Move the stitch marker and work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. 1. I won't count. That's what I have my stitch marker for. Which is work 1 single crochet all the way around. And I will meet you back up at the end of, wow, this round. All right. See you over here. All right, guys, I made it to the end of round 7. And now we're on round 8, and it is calling for a front loop only single crochet around for 36 stitches. And then we fasten off. So we want 36 stitches around in the front loop only. Get my stitch marker locked in place. Just flipped outward a little bit. I really like this yarn. It's working up really pretty. Kind of spirally in a way. Alright, let's continue here. Front loop only. It's going to be difficult looking in the phone. There we go. There's, Get that stitch marker out of my way there. Alright. 1. Front loop only. Alright. And see your V-stitch here on the top. Okay. There's your work facing you. That's your right side facing you. Just flip your work up a little bit and see your V-stitch, or V-stitch. See the V on the very top? Go into the front loop, the one that is closest to you, and work your single crochet. Let me see if I can do it again so you can see maybe a little better. Run it through just that very there you go. See that? One more time, okay? Run it up. Mine goes all the way through, but that's okay. Just back it up real easy and work your single crochet. Okay, go ahead and continue that around. Whoa, see? I crochet a little tight, so that happens to me. It's okay. Easy. Just work your single crochet in your front loop only, and I will meet you back up where we began. Alright, y'all, I made it to the end of round 8. That is our last round on part 1. Now it is telling us to fasten off, and so all I do there is just simply work a slip stitch into the very next stitch, like so. Tighten it down just a little bit, yarn over, and pull through one last time just to make it good and secure. You know what, it didn't say, but I am going to go ahead and leave a tail, and while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to write it in here. Leave a long tail. Doot, doot, and doot. Leave a long tail for sewing. So, pull you out a little bit of yarn and give it a snip. There we go. And pull that on through. That was probably an excessive amount of yarn, but you know, better to have a little too much than not enough. Better be safe than sorry. And here we go. And that little front loop looks like it just created a little ledge. Cute. What do you think it could be? Alright. There is the end of part 1. Oh, let me see. I didn't even show you guys this. Whenever I work my magic circle, I go ahead and just work my tail on into my stitches as I go around, and that holds it in. So now you can just snip that, or you could just leave it if you want to, but I just get rid of it. I can stuff it in later as part of the filling, which that is a good idea for your scrap yarn as well. If you are not entirely sure what to do with the little tidbits, you know, if you save this stuff, throw it off to the side, you can always use your little cutoff bits, no matter if it matches. If you're doing a blanket or whatever and have a bunch of little cutoff ends, save them. You can always use them for stuffing for your amigurumi. There you go, little tip. All right, there was part 1. On to part 2. Turn the page. Part 2 will also be worked in the multicolor. Whoops. Hang on just a second. Alright guys, here we go. Starting back again with a magic circle. Give her a tighten your loop up, pull your magic circle a little bit, place your stitch marker. People find it unnecessary to place the stitch marker on the very first because everybody can count to 6, but it helps keep this very first stitch from being too tight. You don't want it too tight because you have to work into it. So, and it helps it'll help you in the long run, put it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now on these amigurumi, I normally do use a smaller hook. The 3.5 is normally what I use, but for sake of the video, I thought it might be easier for you to see if I used a step up on the hook. So that's why I'm using a 4.5. There was our magic circle with our 6 single crochet. Now row round, goodness, 2 is an increase in each stitch around, leaving us with a total of 12 stitches at the end of round 2. So you're going to work 2 single crochet into that very first stitch, and this is where I work around that tail. There's 1, 2. There is our very first increase. And you want to work an increase in each stitch around. For 12 stitches total at the end. You know what? I think I screwed something up here. Let me back this up. Back. I'm taking it all the way back. Get back in there. It's gonna... Yeah, don't be afraid of messing up, guys, because it's an easy fix. Alright. I'm back to my original 6. Open my stitch marker back up. Hook it back on. Oh my gosh. Unhook. Come on now, work with me. Alright. You know what my problem is? I had my glasses on. I can't see with them. Can't see without them. Alright. Try it again. There's our very first stitch. We want to work our increase, which is 2 single crochet into the same stitch. That was one, and then there's two. That's your increase. Work that increase in each stitch around 6 times, leaving you with 12 stitches in total at the end when you get back to your stitch marker. Alright guys, I got my increases all the way around. I have my total stitch count at 12. That is where we move on to round 3, and it's 1 single crochet and an increase in each stitch, and then we follow that all the way down until we get to round 6, which is 4 single crochet and an increase in each. So let's go ahead and work rows 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I will meet you back up whenever we get a total stitch count of 36. We are now on round 3, 1 single crochet and an increase. Round 4, 2 single crochet and an increase. Round 5, 3 single crochet, increase. Row 6, 4 single crochet and an increase. I'll meet you up when we get to the end of row 6. Alrighty then guys, part 2. I made it to the end of round 6 with my 4 single crochet and my increase 6 times, total of 36 stitches in my round. So now we want to fasten off and leave a long tail for sewing. Again, remove the stitch marker. Whoa, get a hold. And work a slip stitch into your very next stitch. Give that just a little tug. There we go. Yarn over and pull through. And as it states, we want to leave a long enough tail for sewing in. And again, as I stated a while ago, more than enough is fine. Not enough is not so fine. So pull that tail on through. And there is our second part to our little mystery amigurumi project. I did work that tail in as I worked around, so it's secured in there so we can snip it off. Put it over to the side, and there is our part 2. And I'm going to toss this into the bag because I have to go pick up my youngin'. I'm going to take you with us, so hang tight. get my stuff in my bag, and I'm going to take my project with me. Just throw everything in. Throw it all in. Toss it in. Toss it in. Let's turn the page on this. We got done with part 2. You should have 36 stitches. Fasten off. Leave a long tail for sewing. And then when I get to where I'm going, we will move on to part 3, which will be in your solid color. Alright, be back. Oh, can't forget the scissors. Throw them in. And I may need these. Yes, indeed. Gotta have my eyeballs. Throw the fluff in. Grab her bag. And let's get out of here. Enjoy this short little intermission, guys. I am here waiting for my daughter. And when I get back to the house, we will get back on this pattern. Alright. I'll see you in a bit. It's starting to get pretty windy here. Kind of gray and gloomy. That's what it looks like. There's our courthouse. Yeah. Got some, looks like some weather moving in. See. Alright, see you guys in a bit. The rain has begun. It is 95 degrees out there right now. And here comes my youngin'. Alright guys, we'll be right back.